What is going on, people? I am here for another movie review. And if you couldn't tell by the title, the movie I'm reviewing is Chills Down Your Spine, which is an anthology film, which I found out after is a sequel to Shivers Down Your Spine. It's another anthology film that continues. So, if you don't know, with anthology films, there's actually like two kinds, I guess you want to call it, where, there's some where it's just, a few short films, like ABC's of Death kind of deal, where, every short is just different, doesn't really have a story arc or anything, it's just, short after short after short after short kind of deal. But then you get other ones which have like a overall story arc, and then shorts in between, almost like a trick or treat kind of deal, where you have a story, like stories inside a story kind of deal, and that's what this one is. It's a horror comedy with shorts inside a overarching story, which I want to check out the first one just to see where it came from, because the overarching story, I don't think you really need to watch the original one, maybe to understand what was going on beforehand, but to tell you the truth, this one might be a good not standalone movie, but, with the shorts in it themselves, or the, horror stories, I guess you want to call it, would be, good by itself. But anyway, this one is directed by Mathew Kister. It's written by Tony Crumpton, Mathew Kister, among few others. It stars Anastasia August, Clint Beaver, Michell, Blodgett, among many others. I'm reading this off IMDb, and those are the top billed people. So anyway, don't want to get way too deep into the story arc, because at that point in time you kind of have to watch the first one too to know certain characters. You learn there's new characters in this one, which I myself learned, but I guess in the first one there are different people. Let's just say with the overarching story, you get certain genies, and then a masked killer, I guess you want to call it, that wants to, rule the world, and then you get all these, mythological creatures and all this stuff in different forms, but pretty much the overarching story, what I can say is, I guess in the first one, this guy finds a lamp with a genie in it. He, I guess, at some point falls in love with her, uses all his wishes, and wants to find her again. This is right in the beginning, so it's not really giving too much away, but pretty much he goes to an arcade to find another lamp, which looks like a toy, but I guess it's not a toy, because another genie pops out, not the same one, and then him and this new genie go on this mission to find, I guess, his other true love or whatever. Don't want to get way too deep into it, but throughout, it goes into different missions, and then you find out what happened to the other genie and all this stuff. So anyway, what I want to talk about is the shorts that are in this one, which I can't really go way too deep into them, because again, they're shorts, but I'll give you, the gist of it. With these, you get a lot of different styles, I guess you want to call it, different lighting, different stories, different ways of telling it. There's actually an animated one that I thought was really cool, but each one is different from each other. Sometimes they'll have, almost the same look, almost the same feel. Each one of these have different looks and different feels, which I thought was really cool. The first one you get is called the Devil's Corkscrew, which at that point in time, it's almost like an old Western type deal, with greed is part of it, and like a need for gold, I guess you want to call it, and the things people will do. Don't want to get way too deep into it, but it's actually pretty cool, where it's a story inside a story kind of deal. The next one, or one of them, is a animated one that's almost like a, what do you want to call it? It's interesting because in between, it looked like it was going to be like animated into real life, but it kind of stayed animated about a cursed woman and people looking for her kind of deal. There's one where it's a almost like a film noir type deal, where it's in black and white and then kind of switches back and forth. Let's just say that one has, something to do with vampires and such. There's a bed and breakfast one that's actually, pretty interesting, where a girl goes, car breaks down, she ends up into this old looking mansion type deal for a bed and breakfast, but it might not be what she expected. In the beginning, the guy's like, oh, you can stay here for free, but let's just say there might be consequences for that. There's one where it's a stranded woman on the side of the street, all covered in blood, and you think it's going one way and it's going another. Again, don't want to, go way too deep into it. What else do we have? I'm looking at here because they kind of give you, a little synopsis of each one. One of my favorite ones is like a ghost story type deal, where a group of girls, I guess they're like a show or something. I guess people hire them to, perform or whatever, and they end up going into this house, and let's just say strange things start happening there. Don't want to go way too deep into it. There's another one where it's a one of those places where people go and paint nude models and all this stuff, and one of the people there has an infatuation, or he enjoys the model a little bit too much, and goes and let's just say wants her for his own. There's one with a play, or these two playwrights that are losing money, and they're looking to build up this theater, and they go to this one well-known guy who I guess is kind of like loans money and stuff, and he wants them to make a play, a really good play, for them to keep this theater open. And let's just say they open up a box that shouldn't have been opened up. Don't want to go way too deep into any of them, because again, they are shorts. They're between 5 and 10 minutes, I'd say. Between some a little bit longer than others, some a little bit shorter. And let me see if I missed any of them. That's pretty much it. Those are the couple shorts that are in it. But then, like I said, you get the overarching story. This one is actually pretty long. It's actually close to 2.5 hours. But to tell you the truth, it doesn't feel like 2.5 hours. There's some movies that kind of string you along, and they kind of feel longer than, they are. But this one, the stories, continue. And then by the end, I looked at the timestamp, and it was over around 2.5 hours. So I was very impressed with that one. In the middle of it, it's pretty cool. It kind of leaves you with an intermission with, 3 different characters that I don't know one of them I don't think was in the original, the first one, because they mentioned that there might be a third one coming. It's pretty cool because in each short and throughout the story, they kind of harp on things. I'm guessing from the first one, some reviews, came from, reviewers and stuff. So they poke fun at that kind of deal, like third person kind of deal, like breaking the third wall or whatever they call it, where, it kind of, brings the audience in, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if the first one was like that, but this one was, where it's like breaking that third wall, where they're talking to you, or like making fun of the viewer and stuff like that, which I thought was really cool. But in the intermission, like I said, you get 3 people, and they're arguing with each other if they want to continue the movie, because they harp that it is a longer movie, where, some movies are an hour and a half. This one's, over 2 hours, so they harp on that, and they're saying, you can always stop the movie and then, break it down. So I don't know how long the first one was. Maybe it was long, and people were, complaining and stuff, which I don't understand. But it was pretty cool, them talking with each other. And then they kind of plugged a possible third film. What was it? Tingles Down Your Spine. So you would have like a 3-part anthology, which I think is pretty cool, like the continuing story arc between all 3. This one kind of left the end, kind of left it open. I don't know how they ended the other one to bring it into this one, but this one kind of left it open for a third one, which I wouldn't have any objection to. I would definitely enjoy it. I want to actually see if I can add these to my collection. This one does not come out. I should have started with this, but I believe it comes out to VOD September 4th. I believe that's when they plan on, releasing it to everyone to, check out and buy. I don't know. I believe the first one has a Blu-ray release, because I saw a picture of it. So I'm guessing it has one. So I'm going to actually look that up to see if I can, snag me a copy to add to my collection. But I definitely enjoyed it. If you like anthology films with, like I said, different story arcs, different styles of shooting the shorts and stuff. It's not the same feel to each one. Each one has their own style. Some of them I can actually see being made into a feature length kind of deal. Sometimes you watch a short movie and you're like, I got enough in this. I don't really need to see more or anything harped on. A few of these shorts I was like, I'd be interested in learning a little bit more about the characters, or learning what happened beforehand and stuff like that. So I think some of these shorts, if they would go into it, I think they could make a few feature lengths of each of these. But definitely check it out when it does come out. I'll leave all the information about this film in the description. I'll look for a trailer for you guys so you can check that out as well. I'll look Dead Lanterns. I'll look for their website so you can check out their other stuff. And yeah, look out for Chills Down Your Spine. It's definitely one I think you'd all enjoy, especially if you're into horror comedy and stuff. So again, check out all the links and stuff I leave in the description. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this review, you can always hit that thumbs up. And of course, hit that little bell button so you know when I do upload more videos of this sort, whether it be reviews or unboxings or collection updates, which I did, or anything along those lines. If you're interested in my videos and learning about new movies, hit that bell button so you know when I do upload more stuff. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. I do have a few other reviews I'm going to be doing right after this one, so stick around for that. But definitely check out Chills Down Your Spine, coming in September. And I guess until next time, or in the next 20 minutes when I put up another review, I'll see you guys.